this episode of Random Life on Monday, and I hope your week is starting well. And today I want to talk about what type of problems are we solving in our daily lives, be it at work, be it in our personal growth, and what kind of problems do we actually want to solve, and how are we going to do that? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I have gotten several inspirations from talking to my clients and refugees who are coming to work with me in my group coaching for refugees and stateless persons. And I feel so, um, I don't know, I feel so warm and great inside that I will be able to do this with them free of charge. So, as I was talking to refugees, this is what they told me the problems they are solving. And I thought, yeah, I will use this as an inspiration for myself to be then saying, okay, what kind of problems do I want to be solving? What kind of problems are worth solving that, like, worth spending my all the energy and brain power that I have? So, when it comes to refugees, one of the things that I heard on the weekend as I was talking to them is that from refugees from Afghanistan have been living in Indonesia for a long time, and they have no work permit. And because they don't have work permit and they cannot work legally, they also cannot open bank accounts, and therefore they can't even get paid, be it online, even if they wanted to work online. And they had this great skills of developing apps and websites, but unfortunately, they can't receive payments for this work. So their problem that they're solving is um, how to solve the opening a bank account, how to solve getting a work permit as a refugee, and these are the problems they're working on. And I felt like, my God, what problem are they, and also how difficult it must be to solve for that type of problem. And the other client that I have that is working on the problem that she wants to solve is she has been trying to uh, propose restructuring in her organization because she works in a very high level, and the restructurization of that organization didn't take place, of that operation, and a lot of decisions hadn't been made, and therefore her and she feels like her standard of always working on things is first making decisions based on those discussions that didn't take place, and therefore start solving the problems on the ground. And she feels like her standard of doing the work the way she wants to is not really met, and therefore she does not want to continue doing this work any longer, and therefore she wants to solve the problem of getting another job where she can actually make the impact she wants to, deliver the aid she wants to, by working with a team who actually is interested in that, instead of staying a lot in this intrigue or politics and of the work around it, instead of actually going and solving the immediate short and long term problems, right? So, as I was listening to these amazing people talk to me about how and what type of problems they're solving and what type of problems they want to be solving, I um, I got inspired to ask myself. That's a very great question that I think many of us can ask, is what type of questions or problems that we're willing to solve, and how are we going to do that, and what kind actually is not worth solving or not worth even thinking of it as a problem, and therefore not even spending our energy and brain power around it, which are very precious for us then to be solving the problem that we actually want to solve, right? And I will be talking a lot about the as to the work environment, but of course you can also think about it in your personal relationships, personal growth as well. So for me, the way that I have thought about what kind of problems do I not want to solve, and I have thought about this a lot in the last weeks as I had a lot of problems to solve, is that one of the problems that I no longer want to solve is where I take up the role of a babysitter or take up the role of a person who like tries to solve things for other people or on behalf of other people. And I know that my humanitarian heart comes out and wants to do good to everyone and wants to solve this for everyone, but I do not want to and I shouldn't. And also, part of the reason why I wanted to work as a coach is so that we can find solutions together with the client, with the person, right, who wants to get coached, so that we can find the solutions together. But most importantly, the person himself or herself finds a solution with my help, and that's really where my heart lies. So therefore, I was thinking that one of the things that I really don't want to do anymore is um, solving or trying to solve problems on behalf of others. I do not want to do that. I don't think my brain energy should be spent on all of those. And I'm also trying to implement that in my family life where I have a lot of family members who are adults and they and I used to have this tendency of, oh, okay, let me just solve this for you, or let me just take care of this for you. And I no longer do not. I no longer want to do that. So that's one of the ways where I do not want to solve that type of problems. The other type of problems I no longer want to solve is dramatizing the intrigues or whatever the like extra things around the problem, right, that I no longer want to be solving for, or not even touch it, or try not to even create it. So, in other words, let's say that my goal is this year, I want to make big results, I want to get about 100 people to big results, big goals in their lives. And I would love to make that focus of my work this year, right? And therefore, as I do that, I also do not want to spend time and energy on the drama aspects of it or on the, excuse me, on the inner critics of mine of, oh my God, can you really do this? How can you do this? All of this, I no longer want to entertain. Excuse me. I no longer want to do, and therefore I want to be very intentional and focus so much on how I can get my amazing 100 people to their goals, whatever the goals they want to pursue. And I want to get them to those goals, including refugees, including stateless people. So that's why my focus is there, that type of problem that I want to solve with them instead of like trying to keep indulging in my drama or in my pity or in my oh my god, I'm afraid of being disappointed or this type of problems I no longer want to solve, right? And the third one is that I no longer want to solve for, and the type of problem I don't want to be even thinking about is how others how others are feeling or how others are thinking about me, how they're judging me or not judging me. All of these things, again, it's like a bit in the category of drama. I no longer want to solve either because I cannot control, obviously, how others are judging me or not judging me, what they're thinking, not thinking, even though my brain would like to sit around and think about and indulge in this a lot, and I no longer want to do that. So I have already, as you can see, eliminated what type of problems I no longer want to be solving. And therefore the question remains, what are the problems that are worth solving then, right? What are the problems that are worth solving for, and how am I going to do that? So as I have said that I have this big goal of creating big results, big dreams with my amazing humanitarians and with my people who are close to my heart, refugees and stateless. And therefore, my goal is this year is how can I create big results with so much focus and intention on creating those results, and how do we do this in the way that we feel great after having done it, we feel empowered, we feel so much in charge, we feel so much committed, we feel so much, yes, we're all going in on this what we want to, how we can do this in the way that we come out on the other side feeling so much more energized, so much more proud, so much more reinvigorated, instead of solving the problems and feeling like, oh, I can't believe this happened to me and I don't want this to ever happen to me. Therefore, I don't want to go for the things I want to because it's too hard. This is really like the the part that I'm trying to avoid, right? So therefore, I'm really thinking about, okay, the problem, any problem worth solving is on the way to getting my 100 people to the goals they want to the dreams they want to get to. And whatever the failure that I would experience in the process of getting my people to those goals would be worth it, right? So I was even thinking about like what type of failures would be worth my energy and my time and my brain power or my intelligence, whatever it is, right? What type of failure would be worth it? And I was thinking that the answer to me sounds like anything that would get me grow so much so that I can help other people grow so much as a coach to get to their goals. And anything in like in the process of getting there, any failure in the process of getting there would be worth it. So in the past, just to give you an like idea of what type of problems I used to solve, and I used to think that they were important problems to solve. And of course, every everyone's way of growing, everyone's way of dealing with problems are different, right? But I'm just wanting to give my example in case this resonates with you. So I was thinking that in the past, as I started my humanitarian work, I used to solve for the problems of becoming a humanitarian and being able to help people. But at the same time, a lot of my energy and time used to go to solving the problems of my inner critic, solving the problems of me feeling like a victim, solving the problems of me feeling like a powerless person who don't know what to do and how to do, or who feels like, oh my God, other people um, should be treating well, or should change their behavior so I can feel good. These type of problems I used to spend a lot of my energy and time. In fact, I have spent years on those, right? In other words, trying to control other people's behaviors, trying to make them like me, trying to make them not judge me. These were the problems that I used to spend a lot of time and energy on. And at some point, I have realized that no matter how much I focus on, no matter how much I try to do something about it, I can't make any progress if my mindset is I need to control, or I need to somehow manipulate or somehow influence how other people think of me, somehow make them stop judging me. I cannot go anywhere with that type of problem, and I can't solve that problem because other people's behaviors don't depend on me. And realizing that, realizing also that I will always probably have a lot of inner critic inside me who will be saying things like, well, you are really not doing a good job, you should have done this way, you should have done that way, how could you? All of this probably will continue in one way or another. Now, my approach to them is, okay, I recognize that I have an inner critic and it comes up in ways that I don't expect it, but it all depends on how I respond to them as they come up, right? So if I keep indulging in them and saying, like, I shouldn't have this inner critic, I shouldn't be I should be better by now and all of this stuff, I will just add a lot of drama and layers to it, which I do not want to do. So therefore, my job in that moment is recognizing that I will always have some version of the inner criticism that keeps going on, and my job is how I respond to that. And oftentimes I have learned not to respond to them, but instead saying, okay, I hear you, but I'm going to do this anyway. So therefore, I just want to wrap up for you to think about, okay, what type of problems you can decide for yourself what that type looks like. What type of problems do I want to be solving for because of these goals or because of these reasons that are important to me? And what type of problems I no longer want to entertain or solve or keep thinking about it because that's just not worth my time and energy that I really want to spend on this, right? So, whatever those definitions are for you, like just get curious and interested to get your own wisdom within to find out what that is. And there is no right or wrong answer, and there is no judgment. And please don't add any like judgments on top of yourself to say, oh, I should be solving this problem and I'm not, and others are doing this, and don't indulge in that because that's not, again, useful, right? So, therefore, whatever your answer is as to what type of problems do I want to be solving, what type of problems I have already solved, and what type of problems I keep seeing that keeps happening, but I'm not going to indulge in them or I'm not going to engage in them. And therefore, I will just continue focusing on what type of problems I want to be solving, right? So, the same way that I have decided for myself that these are the types of problems I no longer want to be solving, and those involve like beating myself up type of problems, trying to babysit others' problems, or trying to somehow influence others so they don't judge me or they like me. I no longer want to solve that type of problems. And therefore, the problems that I want to solve for and continue doing so is how can I create that impact that I want with 100 people to get to their dreams. That type of problem I want to solve for. And I feel like anything in the way of, in anything that I can do in the process of getting those amazing people to their goals, that will make me feel so much more empowered, so much more proud that I feel like, yes, these were the problems worth solving and these were the failures worth having because of those goals that I wanted to go for, because of how I wanted to help those people to get to the results they wanted to, and because of how we become in the end of having solved that problem and how we feel about ourselves for having solved that problem. That's the part that I'm really focusing on, and that's what I would love to suggest to you as well. So, my dears, if you would like to have coaching around this, absolutely come coach with me. I would love to be of service to getting yourself to the place where you know exactly why you're solving those problems, how are you solving those problems, and who do you become on the other side of having solved those problems. Have a beautiful week, everyone, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.